Hello, universe. So, spent a little time crying on the last one over my dog. Mostly, I'm always willing to cry over humanity, but I don't think I did any of that in the last one. Hello, babe. How you doing, boo boo? You're a good girl. Look at you, all pretty. The bubble hurts, doesn't it? Okay, well, you got fresh water there? You do, but let's make it cold. How about that, huh? Oh, the cat might have drank out of that too, and that's gross. Kitty water. Ugh. Kitty water, gross. Oh, it's making my thumb cold, so that is icy cold, baby. In case you're hot. It's actually nice and cool today. I don't know what happened last night, but boy, did it ever get cold. I mean, it was cold last night. Like, August, what day is this? 7th? What day is today? It is the 7th. I've already recorded one of these. I should know the date. I've already even set it. Is that right? Yeah, 7th. And we're currently at 11:18. And that's my dog drinking water out of that bowl that I just put there, so that'll stop soon. But, I completed a recording about, I want to say a minute and a half ago. Well, maybe 2 minutes ago. But it was something I had no intention of speaking to. And so the last part of it, and to the government agents who are forced to canvass the entire landscape of potentially violent psychopaths and have tripped into my field of domain. Well, welcome back, number one. Hello, CIA, FBI, NSA, MI6, Mossad, I don't know the rest of you, but anybody else who's listening on assignment. I always feel good about having you listen because in many ways, I feel like you are the people to whom I speak the most. Those who are super, super gifted at specifics like, I don't know, math or fucking social integration or whatever. But you have this magical gift, and society has sent you down the path of realizing it through something like spy shenanigans or fucking surveillance techniques or some other level of disrespecting your fellow man and woman. I don't speak of men. Fuck, men are the worst. So there's no misogyny here. But when you have taken your gift and honed it into the single periscope vision of what one slanted, tainted, oppressive agency of mankind has created for you, well, I hate to say it, but you're fucking brainwashed. And you know it too. Because you've watched your agency take advantage of the very techniques that you now can't deny. Not by coercion or anything other than just fucking luck of the draw. You ended up a player within. And, fuck, man. Talk about the ultimate mind fuck. You're aware that you're fucking brainwashed. But what can you do about it? It is what it is. You are what you are. And life happens to everybody in this way. But to those who so many different options could have been available, had the game opened in a different capacity to see the playing field, well, you're fucked, you know? You don't get a do-over. Well, you do, but you're unaware of it. But it doesn't matter ever that this reality isn't permanent. It does matter that we can't perceive outside of the limits we're given. Although, I don't know what the leaks are. I don't know if that's outside pressure trying to force us into some sort of integration of our greater purpose, or if we're really manifesting it somehow from outside of the reality we create, if that energy is truly creating a new crack in this reality to open up the door to the next one. I don't know. It doesn't. But see, none of this shit matters. And God, did it used to matter to me so fucking much. Figuring out the nature of reality has always been an obsessive and compulsive pursuit for me. Because my reality never matched my drive and inner energy to be in a world created so they could sink. Never did I fit in here. Never did I feel like that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to dedicate my gifts to. Fuck no. I could barely fucking get out of bed most days and face the horse shit of a goddamn circumstance that this whole conundrum was creating for everybody. There were no winners. There were advantage takers. There were those willing to say, I'm better than you. And I knew none of that was true. But I knew I had the opportunity to get in that line and fucking fill up my coffer with whatever worldly good would tell me that I'm fucking better than you. Oh yeah? Well, have you seen my yacht? It's bigger than my dick. Yeah, well, I have a small dick, so a lot of things are. But still, have you seen my yacht? God. And what was worse about getting into the circles where those people really are is how slimy they are. I only met a few true sociopaths, fucking psychopaths, that I knew it in real time. But the few that I met still stand out. Like, I still can picture one of them. If that guy isn't ruling the underworld of Somalia at this point, then he's moved on to bigger pursuits. And even in my exploration of chaos and anarchy and nihilism, the big three of I don't give a fuck. Well, I always knew that wasn't true. I couldn't come to think of this reality as so impermanent or unimportant to just fuck it all. And I know there are a lot of people out there who are doing that. They've allowed their last shred of humanity to compromise. Unfortunately, now it's coming from industries you never would have expected that to even be on the agenda or in the menu or even possible. How is it that media figures are now having to show that they have a fucking sense of their own human importance to stand up for the truth? You were supposed to be in the industry that stood up for the truth. And now you're immersed in an industry that does nothing but manipulate the truth. And as one individual, how am I going to fucking do anything here except put myself in jeopardy if I do anything like say, this is wrong? Jeopardy. That's the point. You're not in jeopardy. You're given an opportunity in a reality filled with moments to be courageous, and you're not being that. So what are we stuck with? A reality where information is manipulated. And it won't change until those who are in positions to have an opportunity to make change believe in themselves enough to make the change. So the rest of us can then make the changes we can make in our lives to make a reality better for everybody. That's where we are. Everyone now has an opportunity to be a better person. And that's what we've got to do. So here I am again, proselytizing. Oh my God, I woke up so full of myself today. And sad about my dog. But I don't usually wake up full of myself, that's for fucking sure. Sometimes I do wake up knowing I'm enabled as the NPC that I am to move into this next phase of the game, and thus my programming kicks in and I have to do what I have to do. I wonder why I had to quit Home Depot now. I wonder if it was so I could see how fucking miserable everybody is there. Maybe. 4 months off of doing anything to gainfully earn $1 will give you a whole new way of looking at the world. And a whole lot of stress about money. But money stress seems solvable. That's always something I've never really cared to digest. But humanity stress? Well, that stuff fucking kills me. That stuff can put me in the furthest corner of the yard, whimpering while I barf up water, thinking, I don't even want to live. Or it can have me thinking, hi, kitty. It's time to rise to the occasion. To remember it's not important how we got here. It's important what we do with it. And I may be the only one willing to forgive the entire universe for whatever transgressions they've created so that we can move past it all and live and let live as it's truly supposed to be. But, well, not the mosquitoes. I mean, okay, there's an argument probably that the mosquitoes feed the fish feed the bears feed... Okay, maybe the mosquitoes have to stay, but if they don't, that'd be the one animal I'd say we could leave behind. Everybody else, though, I'm willing to say, you got enough value, let's bring you along. Even the flies. Especially the flies. They didn't get born to buzz around and annoy me. If they have to move, they're going to annoy me. I have to learn to live with that. So do they. Or something like that. But when I think of the worst among us, I know they didn't show up here with evil incarnate in their soul. They may be the knuckleheadiest of all of us whenever it comes to isolation in the human suit experience. But even they are people who can learn to be better. We're not all messiahs. We're not all saviors. We're not all here to make mankind as good as it was when it was man and womankind. Instead, we're all here to do just what we have the strength to do. Sometimes that's not much, but moving a little bit helps you move a lot more the next time, and pretty soon, hell, maybe you are the Messiah. Okay, so I'm tacking on a little bit of a cluttered recording backlog of stuff, but it seems appropriate to put it on here, and so that's why this is so disjointed, and thus these 20 seconds of transitional explanation for you. The whole idea of a Messiah or a Savior has always vexed me, because I am not one who has any religious underpinning. Literally none. I guess agnostic is fair. But that said, I saw the movie Star Wars at the age of 8 and thought that whole Force stuff made sense too. So there's always been a level of thinking deeper connections exist than perhaps perception is allowing to manifest. And so I'm always open to discovering burning bushes that want to tell me the Ten Commandments, but I have just never seen evidence of anything remotely like that in the physical world. So the idea that we were going to see some level of exceptional human being or manifestation of God in a form of a whatever to save us from ourselves, it just never washed with me, and was really what helped contribute to throwing me in the fire of chaotic outcomes or chaotic distribution, as it were, to explain the phenomenal existence that it is to take the human ride. So if a Messiah was in the mix, I assumed I'd be one of those people not raptured, since I had no faith or confidence that such a thing even exists. And so when I realized how much that had removed any shred of camaraderie I could share with another human being, it led to a very isolated place, and an intellectually corrupt, bankrupt is maybe a better word, sense of existence, because I just wasn't smart enough to fucking figure it all out. And yes, that's an enormous amount of hubris, but I think if your faith in humanity doesn't exist, the only thing you can really sell yourself is that exceptional American faith in yourself that develops just as a result of being a white male American in the most favorable circumstance on the planet. And when that collapses, when you realize all that is horseshit that you've been fed, well, you're left wandering a landscape of meaninglessness, looking for anything that has inherent value, anything that's just willing to stand up for the very premise of what it means to take the human journey with integrity. And that is what has led me to comedy open mic nights. And I know that one of the things about this room that's special is how much exposure there is on this stage of who you really are. And I have come to respect and admire all of you for your not just willingness to stand up here, but to make really the only price of admission into this community is that you're willing to stand up here. What you do with it is totally yours. How you interpret this comedy open mic phenomenon is to be developed with every next person coming up. And so as I sat in July, essentially an interloper among the courageous, I knew I was not giving fair return, because I too have something to say. I too believe that making people laugh is the best medicine for what ails humanity. And I too see what's so special about this opportunity in a land filled with darker places. So I wasn't trying to hide from y'all, but I needed a month off just to see how I could best integrate into what I consider to be the community that is building back my respect for humanity